Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Guapish, Rule 34. As always, I'm your host, Nico, and today I am being joined by a very special guest whose gains may not be natty, but his downs are. Tanner!
That's right, everyone.
And we've also got another very special guest joining us here today, whose mind is left best unexplored, Jackson.
I'm in pain.
And our final guest who's too busy spitting Fuck! Damn it! I almost got through without flubbing! Fuck! Who's too busy spitting bars to care about used cars, Dylan.
Hey, I hope you're ready for today's podcast, because it might be your last.
The poor woman underneath us calling the cops. Oh my god, what is happening up there? Jesus.
And today, boys, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like card games?
No.
I think I like them,
God.
but I don't think I'm prepared for whatever we're gonna get today.
I hate them, frankly.
Well, boys, we've done plenty of card game videos here in the past, all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Variety, and today will be no different. I'm kidding. We've actually got a brand new card game that we're going to be talking about today.
Oh my
That's
god,
right.
One Piece?
No! Today we're going to be talking about the Pokemon TCG. Now, recently, Jackson and Tanner have been getting real into it. They've been having a gay old time with it, just enjoying collecting them cards with that new app. Have y'all been playing the app? Let us know what your current level is and your rarest card down in the comments right now. And something you guys may have noticed as you've been looking at them little fucking pieces of cardboard digitally is that they've got some attack names that are rather different from your traditional Pokemon attacks. And so today, I thought it could be fun to take a look at some of these cards. I'm going to be showing you quite a few cards here today, boys, and I blocked out what the name of the attack is, and I will have several options here for you that I'll be reading out for what the attack could possibly be. And it'll be up to you to figure out what the real attack is. Are you ready, boys?
I hope so.
Sure.
Fantastic. All right, kicking us off here. First up, we are going to be checking out a fun little creature who I know Jackson loves, Skitty.
Ooh.
Now, for her attacks, is it tackle, tidy up, minor errand running, or move around?
This could go anyway.
Oh, man.
I am gonna go move around.
Move around, okay.
I'm gonna follow Tanner on that one.
All right. Dylan, will you be following suit, or will you be maybe doing something a little different here?
I'm between two, and that is one of them, so why not? Let's do the crowd favor and say move around.
Okay. Fantastic. Everyone's doing move around, and much like the previous quiz, y'all got it wrong on the very first one. The attack is, in fact, minor errand running.
Damn.
Dude, you wrote it down incorrectly. If there was a dash between errand and running, I would have known it was that. You fucking, you threw.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I demand a recount.
It's about correct, so we'll just move right along to the second one. Dylan, check it out. It's Lucario.
Hey, it's my boy!
What do you think? What do you think his attack is, along with the rest of you? Could it be Party Rock, Stab, 1-2 Punch, or Do the Wave?
Nico, just fucking, for the future, potentially. I feel like this, at least from my perspective, could be more fun if we saw what the attack did, and then you played off of maybe funny names of what the attack does, you know? Because this is just like, what the fuck could any attack this guy does be? You know, some of them are like attacks, some of them are like actions.
That's what I thought it was gonna be.
Anyways, I'm gonna go Stab, I guess. I don't know.
You motherfucker,
Okay.
I was also gonna pick Stab.
Well, then go Stab.
I know.
I'm gonna say 1-2 Punch.
Okay. Dylan, which one are you going for? Are you joining Jackson with Stab?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go Stab.
Holy smokes. Guess what, boys? Once again, it was incorrect. It was, in fact, Do the Wave.
What the fuck,
Damn.
dude? This is bullshit.
Doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
I don't
Exactly.
understand.
That's why I wanted to do it. These attacks are fucking insane.
Yeah, there's no way to deduce, like, what it could possibly be.
Why does this Lucario have a level? Cards have levels?
Yeah,
Sometimes.
some of them during like the Diamond Pearl era would have levels. I think some of the other ones did too. Mm-hmm. Pokemon cards are constantly just like introducing these different mechanics that they immediately ditch later on. Mm-hmm. They used to have a fairy type that they just removed later. Very strange stuff.
Sounds like the mainline games.
Yeah.
Wait, is fairy type not a thing anymore?
No, I don't
just
think
not the
so.
TCG.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I also think they had a dragon type, too, that they got rid of.
Yeah.
Dragon type is currently in the
Oh, it's
mobile
still around?
app, at
Okay, I
least.
wasn't sure if it was or not.
Has no weaknesses, so...
That's bullshit.
Base dragon type.
And speaking of dragons, next up here, we're checking out Flygon, boys.
Holy
so,
shit.
what are we thinking his attack is going to be? Could it be Extreme Attack, Brutal Assault, Vicious Rend, or Team Up?
Dude, I think I used to have this card.
This is going to sound totally retarded, but I had no idea that Flygon had like little cups over his eyes. I thought the big round things were his eyes.
Me too, actually.
That kind of pisses me off.
Oh, you learn something new every day, I suppose. I'm gonna say Vicious Rend.
There
You
we
started
go,
chuckling
okay.
after that one, so it gave me a little bit of an insight.
Vicious Rend sounds way too badass for a Pokemon move, and I'm going to eat my words and say Extreme Attack, I guess.
All right.
I definitely think I used to have this card, which really doesn't help, because that would have been when I was a wee child.
Yeah.
True.
But my brain is telling me Vicious Rend is correct.
There we go.
Sweet.
And boys, we finally have points on the board with Jackson. Congratulations, it was Extreme
Damn.
Attack.
I'm goaded.
He's gonna beat us by 1 point, and by 1 point I mean we're gonna have 0.
That's it. That's the only point that will be on the board.
How many cards are we looking at today? Are we already like a halfway done here?
We have 15.
Oh,
15,
God.
okay.
Yeah. Alrighty, boys. So, for the next one here, we are going to be looking at a little man who we all know and love, who is, of course, Fortress. And so, what are we thinking his attack is? Could it be Blast held by Tribute, Low Kick, Everyone Explode Now, or Bomb Voyage?
Dude, I think I used to have this one as well. I'm gonna go Everyone Explode Now.
Okay.
You know, as wild as 2 of these names are, I'm pretty sure Low Kick would be the funniest pick considering he doesn't have legs.
That's
True.
exactly what I was thinking as well. It'd be funny as fuck if it was Low Kick. Personally, I'm going Blast held by Tribute because it just makes no fucking sense.
Okay.
That sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh term, but
So, what are you thinking, Dylan? What you going with?
I said Low Kick.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were actually going with that. All right, fantastic. And boys, someone got it correct yet again. Good job to Tanner, actually, this time.
Fucking
Everyone explode
Christ.
now.
I was looking at that one too. This is so stupid.
Dylan was correct, though, that Blast Held by Tribute is a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Oh, let's fucking
Damn.
go. Can I get a bonus point for that?
No.
You don't get anything if you don't ask.
And next up here, we're going to be looking at a fun guy named Aerodactyl and his attacks. What could it be? Are you thinking fast, hard and fast, speed stroke, solid head, or strong top?
There's
These
no
are
way.
insane card names here.
This is a pretty sexualized card, I think.
I'm going all in on Solid Head.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with hard and fast. That's the one that speaks the most to me.
Okay.
Oh boy. I'm gonna follow Jackson and do Solid Head. That's the only one that actually seems like it would imply some sort of attacking motion.
Okay.
I feel like I remember hearing that Aerodactyl has like a hard head as well. I don't know if that's actually true or not.
It's entirely possible that is true. But unfortunately, he's more of a speedy guy, the way he just
Fucking
strokes
Christ,
that
dude.
shit.
I was kind of thinking of that one too.
Yeah.
Damn.
This is going to be a purely luck-based quiz.
Potentially. And you know, that doesn't really matter too much, especially when we're looking at a cute little guy like this. By my own heart, Torchic, guys.
Holy
Are
smokes.
we thinking that this little feller has a Hypnotic Gaze, Lick, Power-Up Punch, or Welcoming Return?
Dude, I used to have this card too.
Damn, okay, we get it, Tanny. You had all these fucking cards, you don't have to keep saying it.
Dude, I'm only mentioning it for the ones I did have.
What's up with Torchic's mouth in this art?
It's a beak.
I've seen a lot of Torchic art for TCG cards, and this is my least favorite.
Understandable.
By a pretty large margin, even, I would say.
He's stuck in a cyclone, dude.
It's just a very weird perspective. I'm going... I don't fucking know. Hypnotic Gaze, I don't know.
Okay.
I was also considering Hypnotic Gaze. I'm gonna go Power Up Punch, though.
You motherfucker. Okay. I chose that first.
Not that it matters too much, though, Dylan, because Jackson got it correct. Good job, dude. Hypnotic Gaze.
Torchic just really has those, you know, they just get lost in those peepers, what can I say?
Peepers, huh?
Kind of got some DSLs going on there, too. I don't know what it is.
My God.
DSLs?
I don't know how sleeping works, but it feels like a pretty strong attack for a fucking basic stage Pokemon for 1 energy.
Right? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. I know nothing about the Pokemon TCG, quite frankly. And speaking of Pokemon we know nothing about, we're going to be looking at Sentret now. Sentret.
Hey, I used to have this card.
Oh, I think we all
too.
may have.
Actually, it's behind me. I can grab my cards right now if I wanted.
Speaking of grabbing, does this Pokemon grope, caress, grip, or squeeze?
No.
Squeeze! Full send! Squeeze!
Caress.
Okay. Damn. None of you got it correctly. You were very quick that time around. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a groper.
God damn it.
Caress just seemed right for a Sentret. I don't know
check
why.
You right now. I got my cards in hand, brother. You keep going.
Please shuffle through all your cards for the next hour and get back to us.
They're separated by type.
Oh my God.
How organized.
Oh. Alright, next up here, boys. We've got another Skitty that we're looking at. 2 of them, in fact.
I love them. They're so cute.
I think I have those as well. That's crazy.
And what do you think they do? Oops, I was about to send the same shit again. These Skitties do not grope.
Damn.
Yeah, no. Instead for these Skitties, are we thinking that they spin a yarn, do important errands, mail order cat, or buddy snuggle?
I think it...
What?
Damn.
These all suck, man. What the fuck is that? There's no way it's an errand-based one again.
I'm saying important errands because I think that'd be funny.
Oh.
Okay.
Dude, I'm saying mail order cat because I think it's funny.
Okay.
Damn it, I was thinking that one too.
You can still do it.
Buddy Snuggle just seems too obvious is the problem. I'll go spin a yarn.
Alright. And boys, congrats to Dylan. Good job, dude. 1 point on the board for you. It's important errands.
What can I say, dude? They like their errands. Does this one also have it?
I should have known it wasn't a red herring.
Holy smokes, dude.
There are no red herrings here.
Crazy.
God damn it.
Oh, maybe I don't have the card I was capping.
Okay. I'm happy you looked around for it anyway, though, for us.
And just because of that statement, there's no longer any validity to saying you guys owned any of these cards. So
what? Look, right here. I have the cards. You can see it. Look.
No way.
That's a Bidoof, not a Sentret loser.
Listen, buddy.
Speaking of little buddies, we are going to be looking at Pichu. I love this guy. He's a very fun dude, and are we thinking that his attack is Choopy, Snoopy, Droopy, or Cupy?
What
Shut the fuck up.
I do love that they have so much character behind these pieces of art. Like, this guy is made out of clay. I love that.
Yes. I'm going to say Snoopy.
I'm gonna say Cupy.
I'm saying Choopy.
Alright, fantastic. I'm happy to hear it. Yeah, I was very shocked when I saw the name of this card, because what the fuck does Choopy mean?
It's Pichu, but they swapped P and Chew.
Holy shit, they did. Why did they do that?
I'm fucking goated. That was a fucking mind read there. I'm goated for that one.
Even the fucking things as if flip a coin, if tails, this attack does nothing. So, like, you know, half of this means nothing anyway.
It doesn't cost energy, though. Kind of a goated move.
Yeah.
I guess so, dude. Pichu doing Pichu things.
I guess so.
I keep, like, choosing the wrong answer because I don't want to do the same thing as Jackson.
And it's screwing you over, dude. But
It
at this
really
point,
is.
you're too far behind to choose the same answer as him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like 1 point behind. I have 3 as 2.
I have 1.
I think I only have 1.
Alright, here's a Pokemon that's a favorite of Jackson's. We're looking at Gastrodon, boys.
Dude.
Do you like Gastrodon, Jackson?
No, not really.
Okay.
He kept picking it, though, for the Pokemon quiz that Dylan did.
That's so funny. I think it's because he couldn't remember the thing he was actually thinking of.
Oh, I think I kept saying Shellos, the little fucking slug guy, because I thought it was some other, like, the 13 different shell-based Pokemon.
Yeah.
You're right, maybe that was it. Either way, are we thinking that this Gastrodon has slippery liquid, a sticky hold, it's wet, or is fluid drain?
Wet.
I'm saying sticky hold.
Alright, fantastic. Good job, Jackson. Got it again. Sticky
Fuck,
gold.
dude.
He's too good at this.
This is bullshit. You're feeding him the answers.
Yeah, I'm currently hovering over his shoulder right now. I actually have a camera set up in his room.
All right, next up here, boys, we're going to be looking at a cute little creature. We're looking at a Cleffa.
Now, this is a Pokemon I love Cleffas.
Oh, yeah. I will say, I know we've been throwing this around a lot during this quiz. I did actually own this card. I
Holy
remember it
smokes.
well. Especially its attack, which was either Eek, Retreat, Squeak, or Shriek.
Eek.
I'm also saying Eek.
I'm gonna say Squeak.
Ooh, okay.
I just don't take Cleffas for squeakers, you know? They seem more like they'd be scared and run away and say, Eek!
Huh? They actually probably say Cleffa or something.
You're correct, Jackson. It does say Eek.
Holy cow.
God
I'm a
damn
fucking
it.
prodigy.
Yeah, maybe Jackson's tactic here is to just wait until Tanner answers and go with his.
Damn.
Jackson, have you, attempted the lottery at any point in your life? I feel like you'd be good at it.
Yeah, my grandma gave me a lottery ticket for my birthday one year, and I won like $5.
There you go. See?
I never claimed it.
all the luck you fail on the Grand Cactpot is transferred here.
Oh, yeah.
True.
That's the real way that the lottery makes money. They just count on people not turning the tickets in.
I couldn't be fucked to go drive to some gas station and turn in for $5.
All right, next up here, guys, we're going to be looking at Slowbro.
Whoa. That's
Careless
that
head.
slow.
I can't stop looking at that in like a fucking sexual connotation.
You did this to yourself, you motherfucker.
R/bored and ignored.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of bored and ignored, is his attack Margin in Charge, Shall Lisa,
Come
Shocker,
on.
Walk Off Homer, or Slow Bart?
Why the
Shut
fuck
the
are these
fuck
all...
up.
What the fuck? There's no way. I'm gonna say...
I'm gonna say Margin in Charge.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Walk Off Homer. God, there's
Okay.
no way any of these are true.
And yet one of them has to be.
Plot twist, none of them are.
I'm like just enthralled by these options. I legitimately just cannot. I'm gonna go Walk Off Homer, I think, as well, just because
Okay.
Homer is like an actual. I don't fucking know. I'm not gonna try to justify my choice.
Shalisa Shocker just seems too out there, to be honest.
Yeah, that one and the Slow Bart one. That's the top or the third one for me.
Alright, listen, guys.
Oh no.
It was really tough for me to come up with further Simpsons puns for his fucking name, which was Walk Off Homer.
Let's go!
Damn it.
Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, the fucking Shalisa Shocker was such a stretch. I was like, there's no fucking way.
I was doing my best here, man.
It was good, man, but for a card, I don't know.
What the fuck does Walk Off Homer even mean?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
I'm thinking of Homer as isn't Homer a philosopher or some shit?
No,
yeah,
I believe it's referring to a homer as in a home run.
maybe.
Oh.
Like in baseball.
Yeah, look at its fucking effect. If you use this attack, when you have only one prize card, you win the game. What the fuck?
For some reason, I thought they were referencing. Okay, I looked it up. Homer is a fucking ancient Greek poet. That's who I thought they were referencing with.
No. That's very funny, though.
Alright. And speaking of funny, we've got a funny little plant that we're checking out today. We are going to be looking at Lileep.
I legitimately
like
have this
Lileep?
card. I actually legitimately
yeah.
have this card.
I think Lileeps are kind of creepy, to be honest.
I think they're pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure I had this card too. I do 100% recognize it, but the question is, Dylan, do you recognize its name, which is Surprise Plant, Melting Fluid, Tender Tentacles, or Unexpected Joy?
Surprise plant, and let me reference my cards while you guys answer.
Unexpected Joy, lock in. That's a fucking weird ass name.
Damn it, I was also thinking Unexpected Joy.
Do it, dude.
That means we're guaranteed to win this one, Tanner.
That's
I am doing Unexpected Joy still.
Going Unexpected Joy. All right. And the correct answer was, in fact, Tender Tentacles.
fuck.
Holy shit.
Damn it. The strategy didn't work. What the fuck?
I fumbled.
You should have chosen Tender Tentacles very quickly so I could have copied it.
Yeah. All right. And next up here, we're going to be looking at another skitty for you
Brother,
guys.
what's with all the skitties? Goddamn!
Look how cute they are. I love all these pieces of art.
Yeah, another fun little skitty for us. And what are we thinking that their attack is? Could it be Errands of Consequence, Family Outcast, Cat Kick, or Life Swimsy?
Listen, hear me out. this may be a red herring, given the other two skitties, but I think I'm gonna take the bank and go errands of consequence.
Okay.
This is really taking me back to the Ford F-150 category of the car quiz, where
If it makes you feel any better, the skitty card that I found in my collection did not have errands of any kind in its cards.
that's the worst fucking thing you ever could have told me, to be honest.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say Life's Whimsy because I think it's funny.
Okay.
It's a very whimsical looking skitty.
Cat kick sounds about right, but you know.
Comedy comes in threes, so I'm gonna go errands of consequence.
Let's go.
Fantastic. I'm happy to hear it. Congratulations, both Tanner and Dylan, for
no
falling for
way.
the bait. It was cat kick.
Fuck you,
Damn it.
Nico!
I honestly, I was thinking Cat Kick as well, just because normally it's the attacking card on the bottom and there's some fucking normal action on the top, and it was a
Yeah.
normal action, and I was like, I don't know what the fucking Life's Whimsy would be for an attack, but you know, they've had some dumb fucking attack names before.
Yeah.
2 energy for 20 damage, also, what the fuck?
Listen, dude.
That's better than 1 energy for fucking 10 damage on that other card.
I mean, to be fair, that's about equal.
I mean, the other one's RNG, though. This one's consistent.
Oh, okay.
This is an older card, dude. Power scaling has just gotten like really out of whack recently in the TCG, alright?
We have basic
True.
cards that are fucking like 40 damage attacks for 1 energy nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, for our final card today, boys. Just one more. Can you believe how quickly this flew by? We are going to be looking at Swoobat.
Oh god, I hate Swoobat.
Isn't Swoobat like a Gen 5er?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you should know it well, dude.
Yeah, I love this guy.
Potentially its attack too, which is Fat Sound, Drop the Bass, K-Pop Stan, or Sulfuric Acid Spit.
Shut the fuck up.
One of these is not like the other.
I'm gonna go drop the bass.
Okay.
I'm gonna say sulfuric acid spit. That sounds metal as hell.
I'm gonna fucking actually shoot myself in the head if it's K-pop stan, and because I don't think it is, I'm gonna pick Fat Sound, I guess.
Alright. Sounds good to me, dude. And with that, we do in fact have a winner, boys.
Yeah, crazy, it's Jackson.
The correct answer was Fat Sound. Good job,
Fuck, dude.
Jackson.
Jesus.
I'm fucking goated.
Absolute
demolished
sweet,
us, dude.
Oh my god, was that 5 or 6 points?
You got 7.
Jesus
Holy
fucking Christ.
shit.
I got almost half. That was close.
I mean,
Right?
there's no true half, so 7 could be considered half, to be fair.
I'm 0.5 off, man. I fumbled.
Alright, man.
You absolutely killed it, though. Tanner and Dylan, congrats, guys. You tied for last place with 2 points each.
Let's fucking
Jesus.
go. Together we make
great.
4.
I thought you guys got many more points than that.
Nah,
That's
dude.
No, man.
I was not
It's
joking
possible
when
I may have missed one here or there, but
yeah. You can tally it up when you're editing it, I guess.
This was like literally 100% luck-based guessing.
I won the fucking the quarter roll fucking 7
I
times.
guess so, dude.
as he tends to do with these, I mean, hey, it's
Yeah.
not too dissimilar to like the Yu-Gi-Oh card guessing one as well, so.
I think this is a fun idea, though.
Speaking of being a fun idea, this was yet again another idea I stole from Fueled by Sandwiches. Go check them out. Fucking random dude in the comments who called me out for not shouting them out before. I did shout them out. You just didn't watch the whole episode. Fuck you.
See, Nico, unfortunately, you're saying this now, and they're not going to get this far.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
You should preface it, for sure.
Oh well.
I can't do it before, though. Then they'll realize that there's better options out there for them, and they'll immediately click off the video and go seek that out instead.
Well, dude, now you see, I gave you a great idea of how you can, evolve upon this concept here, and you can make it your own.
Potentially. I am not at all confident that you guys knowing the attacks will, like, what the attack does will actually assist you whatsoever here.
It gives us any amount of extra information, though. Anything that makes it less entirely RNG, I think, the better.
Well, to be fair, though, like, I was reading the descriptions of most of these attacks, and, like, they actually don't
They still
add
made no
substance.
fucking sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
So,
will you
like-
know that E lets you draw a card?
it's still
Yeah.
just like any info, you know. I'm grasping at straws here.
I feel like your info is what the Pokemon is.
I mean, I
yeah,
guess
Fat
so.
Sound.
But, like, fucking Skitty, I'm sure there's a Pokedex entry somewhere that's like, oh, this Pokemon loves to do errands. Which, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm pretty sure that actually is a Pokedex entry for Skitty.
I have genuinely no recollection of Skitty's ever being involved in errands.
Looks like we're doing another Pokedex entry quiz, boys.
Oh boy!
Anyway.
And with that, I hope that you guys are ready to do a quiz of another kind, as in a quiz of our opinions. Which we're going to be sharing over on Guapish at the Movies.
Guapish at the Movies. She's crazy like a fool, wild about Daddy Cool. That was a song from Paddington 2. Shut up.
I wanted to do the fucking Eyes Wide Shut piano theme they play 99% of the movie.
Weren't they playing like the fucking Nutcracker or something during that movie?
In Die Hard, it was the fucking When the Saints Go Marching In, they just changed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is an oddly American song to be playing during like these foreign Russian people like doing their shit or whatever.
They were playing the Saints Go Marching an awful lot.
Yeah.
I don't think the Saints Go Marching In is American. I'm pretty sure it's far older than our country.
Well, you know.
Oh, also, by the way, Jackson and I...
Also, they're German.
Oh. By the way, Jackson and I were toying around with a little idea here, something that we thought might be nice.
Uh-oh.
We were talking about potentially, before we give our thoughts on the film, we say what our rating is that we have in mind that we want to give it, and then once we talk about it after the discussion, then we give the, like, you know, final rating, just in case, like, oh, okay, we can see, like, how our thoughts have, like, changed and evolved throughout talking about it.
I feel like at least 30% of this, like, thought process came from me, but go on.
It's actually 25% because there's 4 of us. But yeah, no, I think this is a fun idea just because... even just like me, I do move around my ranks a lot as we talk about the movie, and I just get more insight about it. And I think it's interesting to maybe get more insight to what we're all thinking throughout this process.
I guess so.
Sure, let's try it out.
Yeah, why not? We can drop it immediately later.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do it for this first film, then never again. So, I think this is actually a fantastic film to start that tradition off with, which is our Patreon pick of the week, Eyes Wide Shut.
The 1999 film.
Yeah, which was requested by Tutbot. Thank you.
Holy smokes.
Yes. Should I give the synopsis and then the ranks, or are we giving the ranks and then the synopsis?
Let's just do the ranks before anything else.
Okay.
No context needed. Personally, I gave this movie an A-.
Hang on! Dylan, what'd you give it?
Why the fuck? This is exactly what I'm talking about. The percentage I gave wasn't because of there's how many participants in the podcast. It's because you guys think that I changed. I at least say when I change my rating after talking about it. So, anyway, I personally gave this movie a B.
Okay.
Not like your guys' ratings were gonna change that anyway. So fuck off, Nico.
Well, let's see about that, huh? Now, won't we?
I said ratings, not review. He was acting like you guys were gonna give your ranks and then I was gonna change mine when I have the option to change it later.
He dedefinitely did think that, and you should be ashamed of yourself, Nico.
I'm sorry, that's absolutely something that's never happened at any point. Yeah, I gave this one an A-, I'm thinking.
I'm not joking, guys.
Fuck
it's
you, bitch.
It's very
retard.
Ooh. Was this film a little too smart for you, Tanner?
You don't even know if he's rated it good or not.
You don't even know what I'm about to say. Anyway, it's very funny you choose to do this starting with this film, because, like, as you can see from my notes here, I genuinely have not written down a rank because I have no fucking clue how to rank this movie, and I was going to talk things out with you guys and then figure it out from there.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So I don't have a rank for this one because I have no idea what to think.
What's your gut saying?
Did you at least like it? Is it on the higher or lower end, do you think?
I don't think it's bad, I guess.
Okay.
But, like, literally, it could probably be anywhere from, like, A to C.
Jesus.
That's fucking based, honestly. That's based as fuck.
Because, like, legitimately, I always, like, write down my thoughts and then write down a rank. But when I wrote down some thoughts for this one, and I'm like, I don't know where to put this.
Average Stanley Kubrick film. Oh, yeah.
Jackson, did you say what your rank was?
Yeah, A-.
Okay.
I was the first one to give a rank, and then you said, wait!
I was shouting over you. I didn't even hear what you said before.
Crazy
That's
concept.
crazy.
Alright, so Jackson, what's the summary for this film?
Yeah, so we've got our two protagonists. They have marital problems, potentially. The wife fucking trauma dumps on his ass. I wouldn't say trauma dump, but, she does, like, some crazy fucking story about wanting to throw away her entire life to fuck some marine guy or whatever it was, sailor. And this sends our main guy into kind of like he's just like in a state of shock, basically. He gets sent on a client call, and then he goes through a series of unfortunate events where he meets up with one of his buddies he hasn't spoken to in a while again. He gets into some fucking like cult where they're doing like sex rituals and shit with a bunch of like rich and powerful people, and then immediately he is fucking escorted out after some chick sacrifices herself to save him, and then he's just trying to figure out the mystery of what's going on here, and that's basically the movie.
Fun fact, this is the last Stanley Kubrick film.
And they potentially killed him because of this film.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a surprise. Honestly, this is like a very easy assumption to draw given the context of the film. It's a bunch of rich and powerful people in some sex cult, and it's a movie about them. And a lot of, like, we know too, a lot of like scenes were cut out of the movie as well.
There were?
And a lot of, well, I'm saying that in like, you don't know that from watching the movie,
okay.
But if you dig into the movie's production more, then yeah, this was a longer movie. I think it was like half an hour or something was
That's
cut
crazy.
out of it from, because he fucking died, and then, they edited his film post-mortem because you can't do anything to stop him. And yeah, shockingly, I haven't really seen a crazy amount of people talking about, like, oh yeah, they probably offed his shit because he's trying to tell people too much. Oh well, who cares? He's dead. Rip bozo.
Yeah.
Dude, am I crazy for saying it's weird that this movie gets referenced as much as it does?
I have never seen this movie ever get referenced.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, like, people will use the phrase, like an Eyes Wide Shut party. Like, the phrase Eyes Wide Shut to refer to, like, a sex party is, like, a thing.
I've never
heard
that.
Never
This
mind
must be
then.
something that runs around in Tanner's political spheres, I suppose.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's in some fucking crazed conservative sex party Discord.
I feel like I hear this pretty frequently, but
I mean, you
whatever.
could. It's just we haven't.
I genuinely didn't know this movie existed prior to Nico picking it, and even before picking it, I thought it was going to be some like fucking generic rom-com or something going into it, and then I was very, very taken aback quickly, I should say.
Yeah, I legitimately knew nothing going into this film, and I completely forgot why I had requested it in the first place. And even after the fact, I wasn't totally sure why I had requested it to begin with, but...
Nice.
Great request, man. Great fucking request. Big fan.
See, I knew it was about sex parties because I've heard the phrase Eyes Wide Shut in reference to them.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be a romantic drama, but, that is... I didn't...
Anyway, as I alluded to earlier, I got stat checked by this movie hard. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I guess I'd be curious to hear what exactly is going through your mind in regards to this film then, since it sounds like you're the one with like the least concrete ideas about it right now.
For one, I don't know what kind of film it's even supposed to be. Because, like, I think the tags say it's like a thriller or a drama, but, like... He gets exposed to these, like, shocking things, sure, but, like, he doesn't really discover anything about them, and they ultimately don't have much consequence on his life either.
Well, it's supposed to be an illusion of that, but...
Huh? Anyway, and then I think I saw one of the random, like, IMDb reviews that are on Plex, where someone said, the critics have sold this as a psychosexual thriller when it's actually a comedy about Tom Cruise failing to get laid over and over. And I'm like, huh, that actually makes more sense to me if that's what this film is supposed to be. Because there were plenty of parts of this that I was laughing at.
I wouldn't say failing to get laid. I think that's a poor way to word it, but okay.
What do you mean? He didn't have any sex.
Yeah, because most of the time he was refusing to, because, he wanted to uphold his marriage because...
Yeah, he was fumbling, dude. He has no riz.
I think we have moral, dichotomies on this movie, because I did not enjoy this movie. I sympathize very much with the main character. I did not enjoy a majority of this movie. For a big portion of the movie, I was very angry and anxious. But
let me stop you here, Dylan. What the fuck compelled you to give it a B if you did not enjoy it and you were angry through a large portion of it?
Because I'm not gonna necessarily let my emotions influence the way in which the movie is produced. I could recognize that it's a good movie. It's kind of like, what was the one that I just did the other day with, it was a horror movie. What was it?
Frozen.
It was Nosferatu.
It was not. Yeah, Nosferatu. I didn't particularly... I can recognize that was a very well-made film, but I don't have to enjoy necessarily what it contains or what it's about. But, I mean, like I said, I morally was opposed to this movie in a lot of ways. And so I think the thoughts that I have versus the thoughts that you guys have, or at least me and Tanner so far, are going to be different. The way he said, like, he failed, I don't know if you mean that as a joke or not, but that, like, in my mind, he's still trying to not, ruin his marriage.
He's putting himself in these situations, though.
Yeah, well, it's because he's very confused. And at the end of the day, he never ends up following through with any of them, and that's through, like, his own subconscious, breaking through and making him realize, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this, let's move on. And so he does.
Anyways, Dylan, I think that you're correct, and this movie is supposed to make you uncomfortable, especially you specifically. This movie is specifically made to make you uncomfortable, and I say that...
That was Stanley Kubrick's vision going into this film. I'm going to make a film that will make Dylan deeply uncomfortable.
No, the whole point, at least... The way I draw, so this is a very ambiguous movie. You can make a lot of different conclusions with this type of film, and that's kind of just Stanley Kubrick's entire works in general. They're very artsy. You can't look at them very surface level, like this is just some wacky, crazy night that Tom Cruise got up to, but also you could look at it more as like a metaphor for things. Personally, I feel like my perspective on it is that the whole point of the movie... Dude, I'm just saying a lot of nothing right now. I'm just talking to talk. We've got... all this crazy shit happening in the background, and you don't know that's happening, but, like, it's happening. Your eyes are wide shut, as they say. AKA, there's, like, the rich and powerful hosting these fucked up sex parties where they're trafficking people. We've got, the fucking dad that was trafficking his daughter in the fucking costume shop. There's all this fucked up shit happening in society, and we're just kind of turning a blind eye to it, or maybe we don't even know that it's happening, but it is. And it's kind of just trying to draw attention to this. It's trying to draw attention to human nature as itself, specifically in the sense of, the wife with that crazy talk she had near the start of the movie about wanting to throw away her entire life just to sleep with that guy that one time. And it's just like a movie about, sexual deviancy, our like animalistic view on sex as a whole, and how it drives society in this fucked up way, personally.
Yeah, and speaking to, like, the idea of, like, these are just, like, things that are happening out in the open that people are just, like, kind of blind to. That's something you will see throughout the film. There are, like, a bunch of, like, these little things that, like, you have to pay really close attention to notice. If you're, like, really looking around the background, like, whoa, hang on a second, that means this thing, that... Like, for example, when... fucking Tom Cruise goes to, like, that one lady's house whose, like, father just passed away. The lady who's, like, throwing himself all over him, like, oh, I'm so sad, please fuck me. If you look in the background, she actually has a mask that looks very similar to the masks that, like, the party goers are also wearing. So it's like, oh, is she also part of that whole thing? Is that why she's so comfortable just, like, having sex with some random dude, even though, like Tom Cruise says, we hardly know each other, I've had maybe a couple conversations with you, that sort of thing.
Fun fact, actually. Whoa. Fun fact. Shut up, Nico. This is I don't want to lose this thought, but I also do like specifically with that scene. This is the scene, of course, that's following directly after the super long, awkward argument, I guess, that Tom had with his wife. Specifically with Tom is trying to attest to the fact that women generally would not do something as risky as what the wife is proclaiming to have thought she wanted to do, because it's just like against their human nature as like a woman. They shouldn't be doing that because it's like against their biology. And then we immediately get fucking slapped in the face because that's exactly what the next fucking woman he meets does to him. And I think that's very cool, personally. Anyways, go on, Nico.
Go on, Dylan. What were you gonna say?
All I was gonna say was, it was funny from that point on in the movie. That's how it continued to expose, like, because his preconceived notions was women don't act this way. It's just like a man thing. Like, men want to have sex with everything. That's what he believed. That's biology. He's a doctor. This is science. This is what everybody knows. And then his wife is like, that's not how it works. That's not how I am. And then he is continuously exposed to different women who are of the same vein as his wife, and it's slowly skewing his perspective, and it's slowly tainting his subconscious of, like, what ifs, and, like, what he should really think, and what, like, he should do with his wife, and, like, what his plan moving forward should be. So it's really interesting just watching him getting exposed to these many different various situations that slowly skew his perspective until he's faced with the ultimate decision at the very end of the movie where it could really go one way or the other, and it's really left up to interpretation by the viewer.
Slay, King, slay.
I like how this movie can play very well to both feminists and incels. For, like, the same reasons, even. Yeah. Like,
True.
OMG, they're so liberated. Oh my god, these fucking whores.
And by the way, I do just want to touch on one thing here about the film real quick for you guys. The front desk guy, when Tom Cruise goes to, like, check up on his pianist friend, what the fuck was his deal, okay?
He was
just... I don't know what direction that character was given. He has such a chaotic energy to him. I simply don't understand what his purpose was within the film. Was he just like a gay guy who was supposed to be trying to like come on to Tom Cruise? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what I interpreted. So
that guy was fucking hilarious.
He was
I loved
so
him.
manic though.
cast fact, that guy was also the front like guy, I don't know, the money collector in Burlesque as well.
Whoa.
That's a crazy connection. Why do you know that?
Because I've seen that movie too many times to count.
Understandable, I guess. I never would have connected that.
Yeah, my brain kept telling me you recognize this guy, and I'm like, I don't know why. Anyway, are we done? We done yabbing about the movie?
No, there's so much to talk about still.
All
Are
right.
you kidding me?
I'm just checking. We went silent, so.
So, I guess one other thing that's coming to mind is, like, is this movie trying to make, like, obviously in the modern day we see this and our brain immediately goes to, like, Epstein type shit. We're like, oh yeah, these sex party things are like a manner of control and coercion and whatever. And it seems like they leave the option open in this film for that to be not what it's trying to say. With the one guy being like, nah, dude, we just fucked her and then she died of an actual drug overdose. We didn't kill her or nothing.
I think you can take it either way, which is kind of the point, is you can believe, like, I think you're supposed to think the opposite. You're not supposed to believe that fucking guy, because clearly he has motivations to not want to expose the truth. I think it's pretty clear they fucking beat the shit out of that pianist and fucking killed his ass. I feel like it's pretty reasonable to assume they killed the prostitute too, because that's just part of their ritual. But obviously they want to justify these things to Tom's character, whatever the fuck his name was, who cares? And
I must have missed them killing the pianist.
They didn't show it.
We don't know what happened to him, but like you could assume them, fucking taking him back to his hotel very shortly after the events of what happened with Tom in the movie. They fucking, like, literally, like, not even an hour after Tom leaves, they fucking take him back to his hotel to grab his shit, and he's beaten, and then he disappears. Well, I feel like that's pretty cut and dry, personally. But of course,
I genuinely don't remember seeing that.
Well, you didn't
That's
see
funny
it.
as fuck.
It was the scene that Nico was referencing with the gay, like, hotel clerk. He went in to ask about the guy. He was like, oh yeah, he was followed in by, like, two big men. He had, like, some bruises, and he looked scared.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So of course there is the two perspectives. You could kind of, honestly, I think that's the point of it, is to either put you in the shoes of Tom Hanks' character or into the shoes of a denier, because I feel like Tom probably knows in the end what actually happened to these people, but it's a comfort, like, easy truth to accept that the guy, his buddy, is actually, right in this instance, and that, the chick did just die of an overdose. It's easier for his mind to accept that fact rather than they are a crazy fucking sex cult that killed these people because, they act out. And,
again, going back to the title of the film, his eyes are wide shut. He knows that this thing happens, but he's just choosing to ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Which, by the way, going back to the party here, were they going to sexually assault Tom Cruise? Is that what's implied by them telling him to take off his clothes and shit?
I can almost guarantee that was what was going to happen.
That's kind of what, I was jumping to, like, oh, they're doing, like, a Bohemian Grove thing where someone fucks him in the ass and then they have, like, blackmail over him.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, here's a real quandary here. The final scene of the movie, what do you guys think happened in the final scene? Top to bottom, Tanner, go.
If I remember correctly, it's him and his wife in the store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going Christmas shopping with their daughter. and they ends up just kind of cutting to them, like, interchanging back and forth, asking about what they should be doing, and then they say they're gonna fuck.
Yeah, I guess I took it the most straightforward way possible, where it was just kind of, he knew she was never gonna believe that he didn't actually end up, like, cheating on her at all, and so they kind of both just agreed to ignore like the conversation they had with her on her part, and then him going missing for a couple of nights, and they were just gonna move on with their lives, I guess.
Okay, Dylan, go for it. What's your interpretation of the events?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I interpret it as well. I guess I will say, just to add some variety to the mix here, I did have a passing thought, like, he was gonna try to... This is an absolutely wild layup, but bear with me. He was gonna find a way to get him and his wife into the fucking sex cult, and that was like I don't know how. I had a flash of a thought, but yeah, my primary thought was him and his wife are gonna set aside their differences. They're gonna acknowledge their character flaws, acknowledge their fucked up biology. We have these thoughts, and we're gonna because there was a point in the movie where oh, it's just a thought, which yeah, admittedly thoughts are rather innocent for the most part, but they're still thoughts. There's something that you had, but the big difference is whether you act on them or not, which is where...
How does this relate specifically to the ending? What are you trying to imply with the connection of that, with their conversation?
I got off on a tangent there, I apologize. No, I think they just set aside their differences, acknowledged the fact that they had these thoughts but didn't follow through on them, and then just continued to work things out in the relationship and tough it out.
Okay, Nico, go.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that what happened there is they're very distracted by their conversation, and as you can see, things are very busy there. You see, their little girl just, walk off. They just stop paying attention to her. We don't see her at any point after she walks away, and if you look in the background, you will see that there are a couple of dudes back there who were also working for the big sex cult guys, and so... Presumably, she's now with them. She's been kidnapped or something. Who knows what they're going to do with her? Now, the big question is, do we think that Tom Cruise and his wife are cognizant of that fact? Personally, I don't think so. I think they were just too distracted by the conversation. What do you think, though, Jackson? Did they sell off their daughter to the sex cult?
I'm glad you're going under the assumption that I agree with the premise of your comment. And yes, I do agree with the premise of your comment, of course. So during that scene, we've got Tom Cruise and his wife walking around the mall. They're being very attentive of their daughter. They're watching her. They're paying attention to her while they're also having this, hard conversation about what they're planning on doing with their future. And then it very abruptly, as we see, the daughter walking off with those two guys, we've also seen these guys throughout the rest of the movie too. They're at the fucking party at the very start, for example. She walks off around the corner. We just never see her again. We don't see those two guys again, and then it just goes up to these close-up shots of him and his wife talking. Yes, Nico, personally, I do think she was in fact trafficked. I think they specifically did this to get entry to the cult. I think they're cognizant of this fact, and I specifically think their conversation they're having is about the fact that they just did this. I think, she's literally overcome with emotions because of this. That's why she sheds a tear. I think they've got plenty of motive to do it in the first place. Obviously, I think they care a lot for their daughter. Specifically, why they do that in the first place is pretty fucked up. I just think they're bad people, honestly.
They're very obviously terrible people, yeah.
Yeah, and specifically the motives behind doing this, of course, they have a really bad sex life. They both are very sexually frustrated in this regard. And I think one thing that really, illustrates it for me specifically is just the fact that they didn't kill Tom Cruise. They gave him so many fucking chances when he was poking around where he shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
It really doesn't make any sense why these super rich and powerful people wouldn't just fucking off him. I presume it's because he's got buddies in there and they don't want to kill his ass because, they're fucking buddies. And because of that, he still has a connection to it. Maybe they were invited to it. They know what has to be done. their sexual, exactly, like, specifically with the wife too. This goes back to what she said. She was willing to throw away everything in her life just to sleep with this random fucking dude, aka give up her daughter, give up her relationship, everything. And that's what they did at the end. So they go and join the stupid fucking sex cult. I feel like there's plenty of motive for them to do this. I think they've done a good job portraying that they're not great people throughout the events of the film.
Oh yeah, like Tom Cruise just completely turns a blind eye to this dude who's very obviously selling his underage daughter as a prostitute. As you said multiple times, like, yeah, the wife was willing to throw away everything just to sleep with a random dude for one night. Yeah, they're terrible people.
Yeah, so yeah, I am definitely of the opinion that they intentionally trafficked their daughter. Especially they did it in this busy area. I don't know why there specifically, but yeah, I do think the last conversation was them trying to come to terms with that fact, and then saying like we'll fuck is because they're going to be doing that in the sex school potentially. I do think this theory is funny. Of course, it is just a theory. None of this is actually confirmed at all, but I do think it's funny, the dichotomy of people with the ending of this film, where like there's half the people that are like, yeah, no, she clearly walked off with those two dudes, and the other half is like, what the fuck are you people talking about? They know she didn't, and it like makes me think they like watched an edited version of the film or something, where like that scene got cut out or something. It's very funny.
I think it's just because the film doesn't draw attention to it. They wouldn't think that that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening in the background when we're focusing on the main characters
who are
talking.
speaking. Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely did not catch that at all.
I mean, I didn't catch it on my first watch through either. I was only brought up to this because I watched a few reviews breaking it down.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask, are you guys like actively noticing this background shit you're mentioning while you're okay, so it's absolutely like reviews that you're looking at afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, from a blind watch, I definitely knew there was some fucked up shit happening. I was very curious about what they were talking about, specifically with the ending. I did draw, like Dylan did, I also was drawing connections to the fact that potentially they were talking about being in the cult in some manner. I also thought it was weird that they'd just completely cut out the daughter for such a long time. Like, literally when I was watching that scene, I was like, what the fuck, where's the kid?
That's what
Where'd she run after? I was like, I was uncomfortable with that. And seeing all these like theories based around the ending kind of reinforced, these already beliefs that I had in my head. It kind of like clicked things into place personally.
See, and to me, the mask on the bed initially meant, hey, we know who you are, we know where you live, don't try anything, because, like, they were trying to warn him, like, we are capable of so many more things than you're aware of. But now that you were going through that, I do see it being like a, hey, this is your invitation to join us, however, there needs to be a payment. And yeah, no, I feel you on the whole ending where it's just like, I didn't realize at the time, obviously, but like, yes, the daughter walking off, and like, what kind of triggered it was the look back. Like, as she walks off before they flash back to just a conversation with them, the daughter looks back at them, and it's kind of like, it's such a nonchalant, like, goodbye notion. But yeah.
But even like I mentioned this too, but what really sells it for me is just the fact that they're like paying a lot of attention to her at first, and then they get to that aisle, and then they just fucking stop. Like, it just completely cuts her out, like she doesn't exist at all anymore. Which, to them she doesn't. I feel like that's intentional for a reason.
Yeah.
So Tanner, what has all this discussion done for you personally?
This movie's peak S-.
It's definitely interesting, I guess. I don't know that ultimately it got me all that invested, to be honest, though. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't know that I really liked it all that much either. Also, it's so fucking long, dude.
It is a pretty long film. There are a lot of long establishing shots. Like, there's just shots of him fucking walking around the city, which I will say, I called out when we were watching. I was like, wow, this doesn't really look like a city. It looks like a fucking set. It is, in fact, a set. It's not actually New York. I'm fucking based for that. I knew it. I called it out. It's a very pretty looking set, though. Man, there's just a lot of shots of him fucking walking around. There's a lot of just long shots of us just looking at him thinking. We don't know what he's thinking. He's not saying anything. He's just walking around, which I actually like that. I think it adds a lot to the movie. But
and
I can't understand the plot.
Allegedly, the reason for that is because there was supposed to be a narration done for the film that would be like over a lot of those scenes.
I'm glad they didn't do that, personally.
Yeah. I found those parts kind of engaging, honestly, just because, like, it very much reminded me of, like, when I was at my dark period in college, where, like, yeah, I'm just, like, I'm not walking, but I'm, like, just driving around the city looking for sex, which is not a good place to be in life.
Did you ever find any hookers on the side of the street or anything?
No.
Did you ever go to a costume store late at night?
That shit was fucked.
No.
Oh my god.
True, I agree. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the fucking cinematography of this movie. I think it's very well done, personally.
Oh my gosh.
I think they do a really good shot, or a really good job with just like framing shots specifically. Like the fucking scene, I think a really obvious one to point out is just a scene of, Tom's character walking in to the fucking open with everyone staring at him. You just really get that feeling of dread that something is horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Which it is. Just like the entire sequence of him walking through that mansion was really well done, because they're just doing these cool sweeping shots around everything. I liked it a lot. Just like you really get in the atmosphere of everything with, him walking around the city. I like the close-up shots of him in the car they do a few times. It's just a very interestingly shot movie, which I'm not shocked by because it's a fucking Kubrick film. The acting is very well done too. I think all the characters did a pretty good job. I'm kind of iffy on Tom Cruise specifically, though. I'm assuming this is just a direction thing they were giving him. But, like, he's just always making this fucking face all the goddamn time, and it kind of annoyed me. Like, he's always just has, like, this like nonchalant attitude towards everything, and I think that's kind of the point of his character, but also it's just fucking annoying.
And speaking on that point of things that annoyed you, the score for this film, that fucking chime or whatever the fuck thing that they were playing throughout the film was so annoying. I hated that shit. Jackson pointed it out to me at one point. It's like, maybe it's a piano. I don't fucking remember what exactly it was, but I hated it. I hated it so much.
I'm not nearly at the level of vitriol Nico has for it, but I did find it a little annoying. It took me out of the scenes. It definitely hurt the immersion just how much they played it. Like, I do think it works in some scenarios because they do a good job of ramping up the tone of that piece specifically, because it is really just like that one specific like dun 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 thing they do all the fucking time, but they like match the tempo to the events that's happening that you're watching, so if you're getting like into like a more intense scene, like for example they played that when he walked into his bedroom and there was the mask on the bed, and you heard the piano start like ramping up in intensity because it's like a stressful moment and you can like see that in his face. I think it works in that, but yeah, I definitely wish there was a bit more variety. It kind of just turned into like a fucking meme noise at a point for me. I was like, yeah, I can't take it seriously anymore. Like, I know what they're doing, but like it doesn't really work because I just like, come on, yeah, I heard this one fucking 50 times in the last 2 hours.
Oh,
I do also like the long, drawn-out conversation. I'm a big fan of that type of thing in movies. I think it's a very good way of just building out a character. It's a really good way of letting actors flex their acting muscles, and I think all of these scenes are very well done. Specifically, the standout one for me, honestly, my favorite scene in the entire movie was just Tom talking to his buddy at the pool table.
Yeah, I was going to mention that one.
I really like that scene. I think it does a really good job just like presenting his buddy as just like a fucking terrible human being, with his justifications. You can see him thinking about it, like trying to make up an answer for it.
Yeah.
Tom's realization of everything, I assume he's also, you can kind of see it down his face that he's wrestling with the fact that he doesn't truly believe what his buddy's saying, but also like he wants to like rationalize it somehow anyways, because it's human nature to not want to assume that his buddy is involved in some sex cult that kills people.
Yeah.
I also keep saying buddy. I don't know if they're necessarily friends. He's a client of his. I don't know. I assume they're buddies because he keeps getting invited to this party, but what do I know?
They're esteemed doctor friends.
But yeah, I think it's an entertaining movie. I agree. Honestly, I gave it an A-, which seems low for how much I'm jacking this movie off. But yeah, I agree. The pacing is a little slow. I'm super not sold on Tom's acting. Again, I don't know if that's like direction or not. I just felt it was kind of weird. It kind of took me out of the immersion a bit, I would say. The fucking music, man. Yeah, it's very immersion breaking too. Like, it felt like a very immersive film. I was very stressed out in certain scenarios for him as well. But yeah. Honestly, I've convinced myself from talking. Yeah. I'm gonna give it 1 up. I think I do probably like this about as much as The Shining. I think I also gave that an A.
Okay, there we go.
I very much viewed this as an outside looking in. This is like one of the few movies I was not immersed in, and I think it's those movies I have more insightful things to say. But I mean, honestly, to me, the music was fine. I thought. And maybe it's just because, like, the piano or the chime, whatever, fucking scared me when it finally, like, especially that first time when it was just blaring, like, coming in. I thought it was fine. I view Tom Cruise as more of an action-oriented actor, so that I'm not going to say that's the reason why his acting probably wasn't up to snuff for this movie. That's probably a terrible example of why that would be the case. That's the only justification I'll conjure here. I will say, this is a minor nitpick, but something a little goofy that happened while he was at the cult sex party thing. When the dudes... Because, like, he'd been warned by the one chick, like, you need to leave, you need to get out of here, they're gonna kill you. And then they're like, oh... your taxi driver is at the door or something important or something urgent or whatever came up. And my immediate thought was, why would they allow the taxi driver to the door if you need a password to get in through the gate? So why didn't he immediately start formulating, like, oh shit, they're on me, I need to get out of here? Instead, he went along with it.
And what the fuck was he supposed to do at that point?
I mean, I don't think they even let the taxi driver to the gate. I think they were just lying so that they could get him back to the lobby.
Well, no, I know, but, like, why wasn't that Tom Cruise's train of thought, is what I'm asking. If he knew you needed a code to get through the gate to get to the front door,
I think I just don't think he knew what he was getting himself into. Like, the whole point in what they're trying to represent is that he was just way in over his head. He didn't know even the premise about what this party was. He walked in, he tries to blend in because he realizes kind of what it is, and he's fucked. And they even demonstrate that more in the scene that I was talking about, like the pool table, where they show how obviously he was picked out immediately. Like, even like the very first scene, he gets fucking called out. Like, the second he walked in there, he walked into the fucking the spider's den. He was fucked from the start. I'm sure he was thinking these things, especially because he had some prostitute hounding him about it. But like, what the fuck is he supposed to do?
Leave when he had the chance.
I don't think he could have gotten out if he wanted to. Personally,
I think he would have gotten tackled.
I also think it speaks just to the character's ego. Like, he thought he could fucking get away with it. He thought he was passing for it.
True.
And clearly, he's wrong about that.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dylan, Jackson gave his rating. What are you thinking for yours?
You know, I didn't give this movie enough credit. I know I said I tried not to get too emotional about this movie, but I think I still had some emotional resentment towards the movie. And after talking about it, I realized that this movie's a little better than what I gave credit for. I'm actually just going to up it to an A- and call it good.
That's insane. I'm sticking with A- personally. Tanner, how about you? Have you figured out where you're going to be putting this?
I think I'm going to slap it in B.
Okay.
Because, like, yeah, it's very well done. It's a bit of a thinker, but ultimately I don't much care for it. And I agree with the music being bad, and I don't know, it's just not my kind of film.
You know, like when they play a single dramatic piano note.
I didn't like that it was like recognizable, classical music. I was like, you can't do something original for this?
You can't like play some reggae or something?
You fucking
reggae really gets me in the mood.
Hell yeah. Anyways, it landed at an A- overall, which I think is the same rank as The Shining.
Fantastic.
It is the same rank as The Shining. I'm honestly kind of surprised by that.
Personally, I think that's insane, but...
I found this film more engaging than The Shining overall.
He did. You guys like flip-flop ranks. I think Nico gave The Shining a B and you gave it an A. I think you gave it somewhere in like the B as well, maybe. I don't know.
Probably. I don't know. Let's see.
Dylan, would you say you like this film more than The Shining?
I would say so. Well, just slightly, apparently. I gave The Shining a B+.
Wow.
I think you guys are out of your fucking minds.
Tanner, you went into this ranking without having one, so...
I know. Well, I'm just saying that. What does that have to do with me saying I think The Shining is much better than this?
I don't know. I'm just trying to throw something out there.
Right.
I think they're both very cool films for very different reasons. Yes. Obviously, they're completely different in even scope and subject matter. I am very interested in watching more Kubrick films. This is my second one ever. One of these days, I'll pick Clockwork Orange or some shit, or I'll get have a romp. Yeah, speaking of Paddington 2, that is in fact Nico's pick this week, the 2017 film Paddington 2. Please take us away.
Paddington 2 is a delightful little film about a bear named Paddington who loves his marmalade, and he just wants to buy a cute little thing for his dear Aunt Sally for her 100th birthday, but a cruel, mean actor steals it from him, and he gets sent to jail and needs to break out of it. Not Clockwork Orange, but what's that famous film movie? Which one am I thinking of right now?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
That's not it, but sure, let's say that. Like, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And they catch him, and he's...
Shawshank Redemption.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of. Shawshank Redemption style. And he gets to meet his grandmother and give him the little present.
Fun fact, what did I write down for this? Oh, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is the voice of Paddington in the Ukrainian dub.
That's very funny. Why?
Well, he was a comedian before he was president of Ukraine.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, then.
He wasn't very funny.
Bummer. I think it might just be a regional thing. You just don't understand the humor of that part of the world.
Well, his big bit that he was, like, known for is playing a piano with his penis, so...
That's pretty funny, dude. Alright, so Paddington 2, guys. This was a very delightful film. I thought it was sweet, okay? It was charming. I thought the little pop-up book, the animation stuff that they did was cool, where he got to, like, actually get immersed into that world, and he got to see his auntie and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that. The villain was very obvious from the very beginning that he was the bad guy. He was instantly evil. But,
what happened was giving our ranks.
I was literally about to type that too.
Fuck, I forgot!
I was literally sitting here thinking, I was like, wow, we actually legitimately immediately forgot about giving our ranks right off the start.
Yeah, that was a very quick topic we just had there.
Crazy.
Huh?
It's not second nature for me yet. My apologies. Tanner, where are you putting Paddington 2?
We're picking all the worst movies for us to do this.
Did you not rank Paddington either?
No, because I have it at 2 ranks. I'm in between right now. I'm at either a B or a B plus.
It gives us like a general idea of where your thoughts
Better than
are.
nothing.
I'm thinking like, B personally. Dylan, where are you at?
Yeah, since Jax is giving it a C, that's crazy. I'm personally thinking B.
For Bear, which Paddington is. So yeah, going back to the film, I thought it was very whimsical. It's a cute little movie.
I agree.
To be perfectly honest, I was expecting a lot more going into this film. Let me just get that out of the way here real quick, because I heard a lot of great things about Paddington 2. People have really fucking hyped this film up for me. And so I was fully expecting a life-changing adventure about this cute little bear who loves marmalade, and I just didn't get it.
Yeah, I agree. This was massively overhyped to me. I guess, the general public, or at least film critics out there, are just that fucking despondent in life that, this children's film really just blew them away, that there can be any amount of positivity in the world, I guess.
There was an insanely large amount of CGI in this film, but I guess that's to be understood when you already have a main character is a bear.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the main character is just a CGI bear, so, like, what more do you want?
I can't tell if he's supposed to be a bear or a teddy bear.
He's a bear. Why would he be a teddy bear?
Because, weight-wise, they very much treat him like a teddy bear.
He has there's a lot of cartoon logic going on in this movie from what I noticed, so...
I'm so fucked up they didn't give us any closure as to why there's some fucking talking bear walking around London.
Everybody's so chill with it.
Yeah.
I would assume that's all explored in the first Paddington film.
I would hope so, but who would know?
I was hoping there is no first Paddington and they just released this film called Paddington 2.
That'd be funny.
That'd be very
Because I had
fun.
never heard of the first one. I only ever heard of this one, so I think that'd be funny.
But yeah, I got nothing out of this film.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the villain. I think he's whatever. I think the setup to Paddington getting thrown in prison is stupid. I think the interactions of the prisoners, obviously this is a fucking children's film, but like, Jesus Christ.
That was so exaggerated.
I think Paddington himself is fucking annoying, to be completely honest. I got basically nothing out of it.
I don't think Paddington was annoying. I thought he was a charming little guy.
Yeah, you did. I didn't. I don't
Jackson's
know
an
what to fucking
even bigger nihilist than movie critics. This film could not pierce his cold, dark heart.
Yeah.
Even like the emotional scenes, I was like, haha, yeah, they're trying to make me cry, and I was like, that's just funny.
The funny thing is, like, the unreal expectations they're trying to set up about prison life. Like, obviously, nobody should expect this is what prison life... There's so much goddamn leniency. It's so unrealistic, the way that they make the prison scenes look. It's actually insane.
Well, it is British prison.
Quite frankly, I'm surprised they had bars on their cells.
There's so much that they got away with in this movie that just logically doesn't make sense, but you're forced to go along with because it is, in fact, a children's film about people getting along. So, whatever.
Yeah, with the talking cartoon bear.
Cartoon, he's CGI, there's a difference.
Dude, I disagree with Jackson. I think the villain is good. I like him. He's a funny guy.
He's pretty silly.
I think he's a bit silly. I like that he's just like some actor, and that's his special trait. He can just pretend to be different people and no one catches on to it.
Dude, a lot of this guy's like recent roles are just this, where he is like playing actor man who is just himself in real life, but like an embellished version for the movie.
Oh, that's fun.
Allegedly, from what I've heard, is that initially his name was just supposed to be like the actor's actual name, and they're just gonna be, yeah, he's just some washed up guy, you know, actually you.
Dude, but he was in the most recent Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Holy smokes, no way.
When you say most recent, are you talking about like the Dungeons and Dragons movie or like the Amazon Prime Dungeons and Dragons movie thing that they did for like, what is it, Level Up or whatever the fuck?
No, that's like a TV show, isn't it?
Okay. I don't know, quite frankly. I hear that shit was fucking garbage, though.
That episode specifically, or the whole show?
Both.
I've only heard good things about both.
Rip.
I've heard bad things about the movie and nothing about the show.
Damn.
Unfortunately, Tanner, you run in far less cynical circles than I do.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, everyone I know is a fucking hater.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the folks that you watch are just like, it's Dungeons and Dragons, holy shit! They put the Beholder on screen, I can't believe it!
I actually haven't heard anyone talk about the Dungeons and Dragons episode that I wasn't aware of.
Oh, okay.
So, checkmate, atheist.
Anyway, back to Paddington.
I don't know, I'd far prefer to talk about Level Up. Have you guys seen the Pac-Man episode of it?
No.
The shit going on with that? Have you seen what they make Pac-Man look like?
I don't know anything about it, dude.
Wait, is the show not called Level Up? What the fuck? Oh, it's
No,
Secret
it's called
Level,
Secret,
that's right.
yeah.
Check this guy out, that's Pac-Man.
No, that's not. Shut up.
Round yellow guy Pac-Man?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's
Why'd
him.
he blackface?
Go fuck yourself, that's not. I'm not gonna believe that.
You'll have
They
to
put
watch the show to
Pac-Man
find
in it.
out, I guess, dude.
It's really gritty. Apparently they're also making like a Metroidvania Pac-Man game based off of this episode of Secret Level.
Why?
They're reinventing Pac-Man.
I don't...
Well, I don't really have anything else to say about this film. I agree, it's delightful. It's a children's film. It's overly reliant on, like, contrivances.
Yes.
But, you know, it's still an enjoyable time. I'm not that into Marmalade, though.
I don't think I've had Marmalade, so I agree. Can't be that good if I've never had it.
Well, I think I'm gonna lower my rank personally. I'm giving it a B-. Dylan, where are you going with it?
I kind of want to do it. I don't know why you would have lowered it. I figured this is a bit, and I kind of want to join the bit, but I think I'm going to leave it at B.
Okay.
Yeah, I never was planning on giving it a C. I got cut off. I was trying to say C+, and I'm keeping it at C+.
Oh, okay.
There we go. What's it going to be, Tanner? B or B+?
I think I'm actually going to go higher, because I enjoy this film much more than Eyes Wide Shut. Not Eyes Wide Shut. No, actually, yeah, that is what it's called.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Anyway, I'm going to go B+.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Personally, I was bored out of my skull watching this movie.
You would be.
It was okay.
True. I have no childhood sense of wonder or whimsy anymore. My eyes have seen the light, and they are scared.
You should watch more movies with me. I can open your eyes again.
Dude, I watched like 300 movies with you.
No, not with me. Alongside me, maybe.
Dude.
We're not having this argument right now.
What'd the movie get, by the way?
B. I did not say that, you're right. B. Anyways, the next movie and Tanner's pick this week was the third film in the universe, I guess. The 1995 film Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Dude, let's do our ranks.
Oh no.
So Nico prefaced this one last week with "This is the bad one." I'm gonna be super fucking honest, guys. I had a blast with this one. Right now, I have it at an A.
Oh,
Holy smokes. Dude, I heard that. I heard that this is supposed to be the bad Die Hard film, but I also enjoyed it more than the second one. I don't know what the fucking deal is.
Oh,
like,
good.
I thought this was just like a fun time. I'm thinking of giving it a B+.
Oh.
I also gave it a B+. This is just some fucking dog shit fun.
I'm curious
it's stupid.
now.
I should stop talking, I guess. Yeah, I'm giving it a B+ without any other context.
Dylan, what are you giving it?
Holy smokes.
What's your preliminary
I enjoyed
rank?
it more than the second one, and I enjoyed it almost as much as the first one. However, they're all somehow still in the same tier, so I guess it's going in S-.
Interesting.
I should lower Die Hard 2.
Why the fuck did you put Die Hard 2 in S-? Jesus Christ.
That's a good point. I don't know. I'm gonna have to lower that for sure. I didn't think of that one.
Anyway, Die Hard 3 is the story of John McClane. He is still... Well, actually, I guess things continue to get shittier for him as this series goes on. Wait. No, we're in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like very sunny and hot the whole time, so I'm like, wait, are we in Los Angeles again? But no. It also really looks like Los Angeles in some of the parts. Yeah. But anyway, there's an explosion, and then a terrorist guy wants John McClane, and then John McClane and a black man team up to go find the terrorist, but it wasn't a revenge. They're actually going to rob a bank, and then everyone dies. Everyone dies hard.
Tanner's actually forgetting the name of Samuel L. Jackson.
I didn't. I was being dismissive. Fun fact, Jackson. What did I write here?
Oh my god.
Give me 1 second. Hey babe, can I say the N-word on the podcast? Okay. So the studio tried to get the I hate sign removed, but the screenwriter insisted that it be included.
Oh.
Holy shit, guys, we got our very first N-word on the podcast.
And it wasn't even from me, the actual black cast crew member. Oh well.
Yeah, the N-word pass though, so it's chill. Nico, cut all that him asking for it out.
Oh shit. I don't think that's a good idea.
Why not? I'll have to bleep it anyway, so we'll
that's
be cutting a bit extra off.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This movie is just some fucking schlocky fun, as I was trying to allude to in my review. It is pretty funny though. The first movie wasn't taking itself like ultra seriously or anything, but it was certainly much more of like an action thriller. The second one definitely started leaning into the goofiness a bit more, some dumb shit like with the stupid fucking plane bullshit, but it was still like a relatively grounded movie for the most part. Maybe a crazy statement. This one is just fucking stupid, and I feel like it's just going to keep getting dumber as they go on because they have to keep one-upping themselves somehow, you know? This movie's fucking ridiculous. It's just a fun time. Specifically, I think my favorite part of it, and maybe this was helped because I was going to call Tanichi a black man the entire time, and it was giving me the black perspective of this movie constantly. You guys might be saying, what the fuck do you even mean by that?
I was about to ask.
That's what I'm wondering.
Like, for example, the fucking scene where they drop John McClane off with the I hate N-word sign. He's, like, breaking down everything that's happening. Every time fucking Samuel L. Jackson says anything, he's just busting a gut and, like, yeah, no, they do be like that. Fucking constantly is just, like, inputting things of, you know, his perspective on it, and specifically, like, from the perspective of a black man is how he's phrasing it. Yeah. I think Samuel L. Jackson and John McClane, I can't think of the fucking Bruce Lee. Bruce
Lee, the famous Japanese. Anyway.
He's not Japanese. Oh my god.
Cut that part out.
Yeah, Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, I think their interactions in this movie are great. I think they are easily my favorite part of the movie. They just bounce off each other very well. I like their energy. They're just a fun duo, especially because they're just doing the dumbest fucking shit of all time ever, and I'm just a big fan of it.
Yeah, it was really nice having someone for Bruce to like bounce off of throughout this film. Just all their interactions and their chemistry was fantastic. I was a big fan of that. All like the fun little premises that they have for this film, just the Simon Says shit, having like all those little tests that they have to do and figure out these little logic puzzles, as it were fantastic.
It felt like those fucking like math games you would play in like elementary school in the computer lab.
Yeah.
Like you have a 5-gallon bucket and a 3-gallon bucket.
Oh yeah.
And you gotta, and I'm like, oh my god.
Fun fact, that actually is just a really famous math problem.
Yeah. and then I have a feeling that they actually could have put any amount of weight on the bomb and it would have disabled. Like, it genuinely was just the guy fucking around with them and wasting their time.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I disagree. They kind of established okay, let me back up. They established that it was a revenge plot. Then they established later on that no, it's not actually a revenge plot. This is just their bit at getting into the New York Federal Reserves and stealing all the gold. But then, like, it kind of reverts back and has, like, a twinge of, no, this is actually still a revenge story. Like, he's not in denial per se, but kind of in that scope of things where he says it's not about revenge. But then there were a couple of actions he wouldn't have taken if that was the case. So I don't think that really means anything significant to the movie. That I just thought that was an interesting part of it. But yeah, I mean, this movie was wild. It was, especially like the first like half to like 3/4 of the movie was just non-stop action, like everything happening, shit always going on. Your mind's constantly racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour because like, all right, we gotta drive here. Now we have to run here. Now we gotta climb up here. Oh, now we're jumping down on a train. Oh, by the way, the train blows up and blows a hole. Just a bunch of shit going on. And I do agree. I think Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson's chemistry in this movie is really, really good. Just because Samuel L. Jackson can both be a serious character and a funny character at the same time. While Bruce Willis is more like your serious get shit done character. But the way that he interacts with Samuel L. Jackson being like taking what he says seriously, but like coming up with some kind of funny retort because of some like racial background thing that they gave Samuel L. Jackson's character during this movie. I thought that was pretty good, and you know, I wasn't ever bored during this movie, which is why I like it almost as much as the first movie, because the first movie did so many things well, but this movie didn't do quite as many things well, but it made up for it in like character interaction and just pacing of the movie in general.
Yeah, and like specifically when it comes, I think the action scenes are all pretty great. The car chases specifically, especially that first one in the taxi where they're trying to get across town, I am like, dude, this is one of the best like car chases I have ever seen. This is so much fun.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, and the big elevator scene too, that shit was awesome. Like, did they do it better than Captain America? Potentially.
No.
Well, considering that Captain America was a super soldier when it happened, and this guy's not that, I think, you know.
I don't know what that has to do with it.
I think Bruce Willis, aka John McClane, could take out Captain America personally.
A wild statement.
Where does John McClane power scale to?
He blew up a meteor once, so...
Spoilers?
No. That's just a superpower.
I thought you were talking about John McClane.
Yeah, we are talking about him. When the fuck does he do that? Is that Die Hard 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Die Hard 4, Die Hard in space. Problems with the film, let's say.
It's dumb as fuck.
The ending absolutely is the biggest problem.
Yeah, the ending, I agree. They should have ended it with the guy getting away and winning.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that would have been
100%.
a much more satisfying ending. And they don't even do a really cool action sequence when they're hunting him down or whatever. It's just like shooting at a helicopter and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's not worth the, like, objectively worse ending. And then also, my other big problem is, dude, the heist sequence is so long.
And we don't see, like, anything anyways, dude. Like, they fucking... It just, like, it's cleaned out after they drill in, and then it's gone, and they're just driving away.
But we're sitting there with our main character nowhere to be seen, just watching these guys march into the vault and whatever for, like, I mean, it's gotta be like 7 to 10 minutes straight of this, and it's with not When the Saints Go Marching In, is it?
It is. That's why I picked... that song played...
I thought it was Yankee Doodle.
Maybe it was. It might have actually been Yankee Doodle. I might have
Anyway,
misremembered.
with whatever, like, really generic, like, kind of annoying song playing, I'm like, okay, dude, I'm ready for Bruce to come back. Can we do something else? Can we get back to the plot, actually, you know?
I must have glazed over that part. I don't remember it taking that long.
It was, I mean, I don't know. Nico and Jack, am I crazy? It was a very long sequence.
Yeah, they did certainly show a lot of setup, which I'm not, like, super opposed to, but yeah, they definitely showed probably a lot more than they had to.
Are we good?
I gotta say, guys, this is going to be a very dumb question. I understand how ignorant and foolish I am for asking this, okay? Would getting rid of that gold actually affect our economy that much?
Based on the way it is now, probably not.
Yes, I think it would.
I always picture that as more of like a symbolic thing. It doesn't actually have any real impact on us.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly has a lot of value, and that's wiping out a lot of treasury money. So, like, I mean, obviously they could just print more money, I guess, but, like, that's just going to cause inflation. I think it definitely would have an effect.
Yeah, I don't know what realistically it would do, because we're not on the gold standard. It was money from a bunch of different countries.
True.
So maybe ones with smaller economies, that makes more of a difference. I do think maybe it's just more like, oh, it's like making a statement or whatever, rather than like what it pragmatically actually happens to do.
How the fuck are these Germans planning on laundering all of these gold bars anyways? Are they just gonna walk up to fucking Lithuania and be like, yo, I'm buying you, by the way, here's 10 billion in fucking gold bars? Or like, what was their plan?
I do remember a line, I think, in the movie where they were talking about there were certain countries that were wanting to see the downfall of, like, America and other countries, and they were willing to pay for it. So, what those countries were or who they were, I don't remember, or if it was even mentioned, but I'm pretty sure that is something I remember hearing.
That's crazy.
I did kind of interpret it like when the guy says, oh, we can build a country, I don't think he means any country. I think he means a country that's affordable for, what they said it was like $400 billion or something. It was like a lot less money than I would assume.
I think it was like 130 billion, but...
How much do you think they spent on all of the manpower and equipment to rob that place?
Well...
They had so much fucking setup, dude. Holy shit.
Well, okay, so if we rewind really quick, the dump trucks were just stolen, because if you remember at the beginning of the movie, they're like, oh, there was some crime where like 17 dump trucks were stolen from a yard.
Holy shit, this movie is fucking goated. They set that up with foreshadowing.
Yeah. That's why then they said they got the dump trucks and they realized, they're like, oh shit, it's the dump trucks! But considering that was probably free, the other heavy equipment, I'm sure we could assume is also stolen. The bomb mixtures and stuff looks like it was stuff they already had made up on their own, so that probably had a minor cost. But it also just seemed like that the crew of Misfits was mostly just like dejected civilians of their countries, because it wasn't just Germans in their group. There was like, and maybe they were just bad with their accent, I don't know, but there were like Americans mixed in there too, and like other languages. So what it made me think is that this is just a collective group of dudes who were dejected by their country, and they wanted to get revenge on their countries, and then going out and getting their own, because this is like the big middle finger to that country. It's like, oh, well, our country was bad to us, so we're gonna go get our own country, and make it our own. So that's kind of what I thought, but, you know, who really knows? I forget why we started talking about that.
Anyways, fun fact, we can see the character of the main villain on display very early on when he is telling them to take the bomb because they don't want to blow up a child, potentially, which leads to imply that, you know, you could infer that they weren't going to blow up the school from the start because of that line, which I like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that was, yeah.
It's a schlocky film, but they got some thought put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have to say, though, one big knock I have to give to this film, Bruce Willis's really shoddy police work here, quite frankly, I think it was very irresponsible the way he was just lighting people up throughout this film. And when he was down in the tunnels and he just, like, fucking blasted those dudes while they were in the truck, he wasn't certain those were actually bad guys, okay? Like, come on. Also, I'm pretty sure you need to, like, announce yourself or something before you just fucking execute people.
I mean, he could have caused so much vehicular manslaughter. Jesus Christ, he was insanely reckless the entirety of this movie. Granted, if he wasn't reckless, then, you know, bombs could have gone off and killed many people. But like,
Yeah.
Are you so in regards? Are you referring to in the elevator where he just fucking starts killing all the dudes? Is that
No,
one
and he was in the tunnel.
Oh, well, I mean, because it's under the assumption that he's like, oh, did some dump trucks come through here? Because that's what he was chasing. He's like, yeah, a bunch of assholes drove through the tunnel, but, like, we're not allowing people in there anymore. I think
But,
that
like,
kind of...
still, dude.
I don't, dude, I think that's a little bit of a nitpick, in my opinion. It was very much laid out that no more dump trucks were supposed to go.
I think it's irresponsible, and it makes me negatively look upon his character.
Listen, dude,
He's becoming an evil person throughout this film, which they had an alternate ending that was supposed to further illustrate, in which the guys, they do in fact escape, and Bruce Willis hunts them down. He hunts down Simon, and he places down a fucking bazooka. They, like, shaved off the reticles or whatever on, so you can't tell which side is which, and he, like, gives it to him and is like, all right, we're gonna play one last game. You have to figure out which side is which and kill me. And then Simon blows himself up.
Based?
That, I don't know if that'd be a better ending, but that sounds so stupid. I would like to see it at the very least.
They actually have it. Let me send it here.
Holy shit,
I really
can't
don't
wait.
like the current ending, and that sounds funny and fits in with the theme of it being goofy as fuck, so I think it's funny.
Dylan, it actually has the opposite problem. It's not abrupt enough. It's very drawn out and takes too long.
I just felt
I
like...
really thought the movie was going to end, and then he fucking goes and chases after them with the stupid pill bottle
I guess
bullshit.
it depends on... I viewed... I can see where you guys say it's drawn out. That's not the part I was referring to. It just... The ending felt very dry. Like, I felt like... like, obviously he stopped the bad guy, but nothing ultimately felt like it was accomplished. I don't know. I don't know why it made me feel that way. The ending just left much to be desired for whatever reason.
Looks like we got to the same conclusion with a different equation.
Yeah, sure. I used to do that shit in math class all the time. You don't even know.
Damn.
Okay, do we have any other thoughts on Die Hard with a Vengeance before we go to our ranks?
I think it's funny. I think the plot of the second is more coherent than this one, but this one has a much higher fun factor for me, which is why I'm giving it the same rank of a B+.
That's funny.
For sure.
Yeah, and I will also be giving this film a B+.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm going to be sticking with my original rank of an A. I think it's just a very competently done action film that doesn't take itself seriously in the right way. And yeah, Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson are just a hoot and a holler. I love every moment of them, like, arguing with each other. It's very funny, very New York as well, which I like seeing these, like, cultural things and whatever. I don't know. Dylan, what about you?
I'm gonna stick to my guns and leave it at S-. I didn't think it was quite as good as the first one, but I still thought it was fairly good. I am gonna have to remember to drop Die Hard 2, though.
I like how you say fairly good and gave it an S-.
This is an okay film. It's pretty decent, I suppose.
My words don't often match my actions, okay? You should know that by now.
I know, I'm still going to call it out, though, because I think it's funny. Also, going back to Tanner's point a little bit, genuinely, I looked up after I finished this movie if Die Hard 4 had Samuel L. Jackson in it, and he didn't, and I'm sad about that.
I mean, I don't know why it would.
I will say, at a certain point, it no longer makes sense that Samuel L. Jackson is still sticking around. Well, I guess they kind of consistently hint at, like, hey, even though he, like, plays a curmudgeon, he actually gives a fuck about people and he wants to help, so never mind. Ignore that
I definitely
complaint.
could have seen them having a bit of a dynamic going forward, but yeah, no, he's not, and I was very sad about that, because I do think their dynamic worked very well. Oh well. Yeah, I landed an A overall. How exciting.
Is there actually
the
a Die Hard
best movie
4?
we watched this week, technically. There's like 15 of them.
I think there's 5.
I think there was 17 last I checked.
Jackson's fucking
What did I literally did a count. What did I write?
19. Dylan, what are you picking for next week?
Is it another I Spit on Your Grave?
No. Why would I choose that?
Maybe you want to be a little silly.
That's not silly. That's gross. Alright. Scroll too far. No, damn, I gotta go backwards. We are watching another installment of a movie franchise we started, and that is going to be Indiana Jones: Temple of Doom.
Wow.
It technically landed on the 4th installment, but we're obviously going to watch it in order because I'm not going to do that.
You're a bitch for that, frankly.
Shut up, Jackson. Fuck you.
Jackson,
Thank you.
What movie are you picking, dude?
Yes, for the next 3 months, because of course I cannot pick sequels in a row, I'm picking all the Made in Abyss movies. Of course, the first one we're watching is the 2019 film Made in Abyss: Journey's Dawn. Get ready, boys.
Here we go.
I honestly don't know what this first movie covers. It's just, I guess, just a preface here. Made in Abyss is a TV anime. It's got 2 seasons and a movie in between them. The first 2 movies are just like they're basically just like the episodes put together into the form of a movie. Like, you know, fucking Demon Train for Demon Slayer. It's like that, but there's 2 movies that encompass the first season. And we're watching them. Get fucked, losers.
Hell yeah. I guess just to check real quick here. Have we all seen Made in Abyss?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. So I guess Jackson and I have.
Yeah, I don't think Tanner or Dylan even know what the fuck it is.
Can't say I do.
Tanner, have you ever heard of Made in Abyss before?
You mention it a lot.
It is, in fact, one of my... I would say it's probably in my top 5. I think it's super fucking cool.
Do you think
it's
the
pretty
movie will be ruined if we do not watch the anime?
No, like I said, it's just a fucking recap of the first season. I will say there are some, edits to it, obviously, because they have to fit in half a season into a movie. So, like, for example, there's like a training arc kind of thing near the end, and that is basically all cut out. There's some like different encounters with monsters that are cut out too, just for brevity. But generally speaking, you get the same experience. I would say if you really do like Made in Abyss, like if the first movie left a very good impression on you, to go and watch the anime, but you're going to be retreading ground for like 95% of it.
That's fair.
Alas, the most recent season 2 that came out like 2 years ago, does not have a movie adaptation, so you guys have to go watch that on your own if you like it. Oh well.
Oh well.
Let's roll that Patreon, though. Let's fucking get her done.
Wouldn't it be funny if it chooses the most recent request? It didn't.
Nope, it didn't. It picked, in fact, I think Kyler's request, the 1988 film Rain Man. Thank you for the request. I'm excited to watch this one.
Fascinating. I've heard many things about Rain Man.
I don't remember if it's good or not, though.
Dylan, I think you're our Rain Man.
You've made that reference before, and I don't know what it means.
Well, you're going to find out, it sounds like, as well as people are going to be finding out a little bit more about the Patreon from you, Dylan. What can you tell them about it?
Holy smokes. Alright, so, for just $1 a month, you get to request movies to have them randomly picked by our bot, just like Grapeseed Oil, aka Kyler. And you get early access to the episodes before they become available to the public. That's pretty cool. You get access to our Pre-Guap, which is a show that goes on before the podcast. You get access to our Discord, where you can request said movies and request topics for us to talk about, and also chat with us, all the cool things. And you get 500 slime coins for the bot that Jackson made that nobody knows about, apparently. And you get your name read out at the end of every episode, just like I'm about to do. Thank you very much to GH, Slayed by J, Blake, Netigant, I Love Lesbians, Top Ramen Man, Call Gulla's Gleaming Hard On, I'm a Horse Fucker. What the fuck? Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you guys all so much for supporting our dreams.
That's right. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you for getting to this point. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring-a-ding that bell, and we will be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.